Morning, guys. We're sanding some primer today, so I thought I'd bring you along for a little bit of the journey. Everything for this truck is in primer. Cab has been in primer for a week, and I blocked the roof last night and I didn't like it, so I spot primed a couple of things. It won't be perfect, but I found a couple dents that I missed. One of them, actually both of them, were in an area you'll see. One of them was right here, and the other one was like right here. And then I had a couple cut throughs on the top from some bodywork that I didn't like, so that was no big deal. I was priming these doors anyway, so they are going to be ready for some 320 here. Probably, I'll let them sit another day. They were done yesterday. This door is broken loose from the inner structure, and the inner structure is bent. Somebody must have hit the mirror on something and hyperextended the door, because the door lip, I don't think you can see it. It's hard to tell. But at any rate, the door lip goes up like that a tad, and it sucked this area down and brought this up. There's not much I can do with it. It's so minute that I wasn't worried about it, but there was lettering on this door. That's why it got an entire prime. And this one right here had bodywork in the middle of it and in the bottom corner, so I just went ahead and did it. I backmasked around this door latch. I'm going to have to figure out how to take it out. It looks like something will let this trim bezel come off, and the screws actually look like they come through from this side. So I don't mind masking up a door latch like that, but I really hate to mask this up to paint it because it's going to be real hard to prep in there. Door locks are easy to take out. They just have a like a keeper on the back, and you just slide it off of the lock cylinder and those pop right out after you release the rod. But hood's looking good. That had 2 coats of polyester primer on it, feather fill by Evercoat, so it's looking good. It's got guide coat all over it. But I wanted to kind of show you, for a job like this, what I do to block the primer back out. I've been working on the back of this cab for about 45 minutes here, and I want to show you what I'm using. So got a couple different items here. Because this is a truck kind of job, I did a real nice job on that hood, and I long blocked it so it's real flat, and you can, that's a big flat area on the truck, so it'll look real nice. Now with the cab, things like these corners and all those little areas back there, first of all, I use my DA right here. This one's a 5/16 orbit. It's not a real aggressive DA. Soft foam interface pad with a hook and loop, Velcro type fastener on it, and this is 320 grit. Okay, you can't really tell what this is, but it's a soft block, and this has got 320 on it. And then I've got one of these soft back sanding sponges. These are supposed to be between 320 and 400, probably depending on how wore out they are. This is a 3M fine pad. Norton makes them. So what I've been doing, I'll take the DA and pretty much go all over all these areas. It's already been guide coated, so you'll eliminate the I'll call it the telltale or the bullseye or whatever when you prime over your bodywork. Even if it's pretty close to perfect, you'll always have a little teeny lip there, and that's what you get out with the primer. I'm going to see if I can find one to show you guys here. I'll probably have one there where I transition back into the original paint and steel. So I will, I'm going to run the DA over that and show you guys. Let's see if I can find a tripod here for you. I don't know what I did with the tripod. Hope everybody had a good Sunday, got something done. I was out here for about 7 hours yesterday. I thought I had the bodywork done on the outside of those doors, but I ended up spending about 45 minutes or an hour on that, and then blocking it and messing around with that. Let's see if I can get you guys somewhere where that light isn't going to really interfere with the camera. Of course I don't have my quick disconnect. I'll bring you back in a second. Alright, Now we can have you on the tripod. Got my dust mask on here. I never used to be real good about wearing it, but I got one of these kind here, the 3M with round filters on it. Now I know there's going to be a transition somewhere in here from bodywork to original paint. And I'm going to start with the DAs just real quick, and then I'll bring the camera up and show you. We ought to be able to see it pretty easy, but maybe not as easy as I thought. So we'll see. I hate to say it, that might be a fail. Maybe I had a pretty good transition there, I don't know. Shoot. I'll work around here, see if I can't find one that's not as nice. Trouble finding one. Another thing I do, I keep a piece of Scotch-Brite. Dust is kind of the enemy when you're dry sanding this stuff. It just builds up and loads up on the pad. So I use the Scotch pad. I just had a little piece cut for doing detail stuff. But I'll keep going here. I'll find something because I really want to show you guys this. I think it's important at least. Sorry for the earthquake cam there. I think I found one for you guys. See if I can put this in perspective for You can see a little dark spot right about there. Okay, and it's a ring. Now there was a dent here that I wiped. So my repair area, that's the edge of my repair area. So what I do is I'll take a soft back sponge. Now this isn't gonna make this laser straight by any means, and going over it with the DA won't find all of your spots like that, but it'll take that lip off, that transition, for a job like this so that you don't have bullseyes all over it. The panel still won't be super straight, but I'll just cross sand on this with a soft pad and see if we can knock some of this down. A hard pad might be better, but it's on this corner. And your sandpaper, whoa, hey, what's up, Focus and Mocus? Loads up like that, so that's what I keep that piece of Scotch-Brite for. I know you guys are on like mega super zoom. But anytime I come across one of these, that's what you're trying to block out so you don't see it. Okay? Now we'll just take you off the stand and put you up close, and I'll show you what I was working on there. I think you could see it through the camera. The light may have messed up with it, but that spot was right there, and it was still showing guide coat through it. Now I'll just continue to run over this panel with the DA. For detail stuff, the DA isn't going to get up into this. And let me tell you, I had somebody recommend using the bristle brush type wire wheels, the plastic ones with the abrasive impregnated in them, and those work good for this kind of stuff for sure. But the big problem I'm noticing, and I don't see where my step stool is here, this is what makes it hard. It's one thing to have this rain gutter and have to stuff a Scotch-Brite in it. I don't know if you can tell, that rain gutter leans back this way. So getting in this corner from the inside is next to impossible without hitting something up here that's spinning and knocking gouges in it. So I've been taking a red Scotch pad and a body filler spreader and just getting into that far corner. It had peeling paint on it before, and I stripped as much as I could get out of there that would come out. I could put some self-leveling seam sealer in there and it might hold it down for a while, but that will probably be, I would imagine, the first failure on a paint job like this. That and up in these little crevices here, because there's just no good way. Because the way this gutter is made, it's crimped or shrunk as it comes around the corner, and it's got little dips in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can see those. So it is a absolute bitch to scuff that stuff. So at any rate, you take this pad and we'll go in. Ooh, hey, trip over the light. Way to go. Get in all these, and since there's guide coat on it, when all the black is gone, you know you've sanded enough. I don't care if these are straight. I just want to knock the peel off it and get a scratch back in it. Same thing in these areas here. I will unmask it to sand it. I'm just waiting until the majority of the dust is done from sanding before I unmask this. It's already got enough dirt in it. So that's kind of an idea of how I do that with the DA. So I don't know if that helps you guys out, guys and girls, but excuse me, when you have what I call a bullseye that shows back up through your paint, that's what's happening. You're not blocking it enough, or like in my shop and a lot of garages, if you live in the north in the wintertime, it's cold, and if you can't keep it 70 or 75 degrees, that primer won't be ready for you to sand the next day if you've got 2, 3, 4 coats on it. Usually don't try and put 4 coats on anything, but some things are pretty ugly, and in which case they'll sit a week if I have to put that much primer on them. maybe longer. This one was primed a week ago Saturday, so it's been sitting 9 days in here, and I've ran the heat and had it up to about 75 every day, but it gets cold at night, so there still may be some shrinkage in that primer. I don't know if I have a puck of primer laying on the bench in there or not, but this is pretty decent stuff, but I don't care what kind you use, they all shrink. Even the polyester primer shrinks. Let's see. I think I don't know. Sorry about that. Shoot. I had one in here, but yeah, that's just primer peeling away from that. I'm not going to dig through my garbage and make you guys watch that, but yeah, I don't know where it is. But long story short, it will pull, if it's in that cup, it'll pull probably 1/8 of an inch away from the side. It shrinks a lot. So one thing I use to try and eliminate when you're trying to put a lot of primer on it, I can use this stuff, Z-Chrome Rust Defender. Right there, it says sprayable plastic filler. Now it says you can spray it with a 1/7 tip. I don't think I'd recommend it. It seems really watery, but about 3 coats of this will cover a nickel. It's pretty good stuff. They claim, let's read the back of it since we're talking about primers. Let's see. Maybe it's on the technical data sheet, maybe it's not on the can. But they say you want 5 mils of this product on, and each wet coat is almost 5 mils. So 2 coats of this and then sand. I don't think they want you piling this stuff up. Maybe some guys do. I don't know that I would. I know I put 3 coats of feather fill on that hood, and it was a little bit gummy the first day, or I'm sorry, the second day. I let it sit 2 days. I had to block it with 180 because 320 wouldn't do it. But yeah, that's the stuff right there. And let's see. Oh, here's the 2K primer I'm using now. DTM 2035. It's direct to metal, but read your tech sheets. This isn't for a car that's been stripped down and sandblasted. This is if you got a little bare metal around a body filler repair that isn't very big. You know, smaller than probably $1. You know, way smaller. Otherwise you want to probably etch if you have a lot of metal like that. Doesn't seem to shrink too bad compared to some of the real cheap primers, but yeah, that's that. Give you guys a little paint gun porn here. Oh yeah, the cabinet's getting full. What's that? Shh, don't tell anybody. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. I just bought this gun the other day because the 1/8 tip of my finish line gun is damaged, which is the one with the metal cup on it there. Yeah, nothing but the best. ATD Hong Kong Fooey. But it sprays pretty damn good, and it's got a 1/8 tip in it. Lays the primer out just fine. So I got that, and then I'll take out the new kid on the block. Yeah, there she is. We'll see how it works out. I needed a bigger fluid tip on my solder to spray this base coat that I'm spraying, and fluid tip and nozzle for a solder jet. Better off buying another gun. It would have been over 200 plus for that, and this whole gun I got online for $380 shipped to my door. There's the little digital DeVilbiss regulator. I don't know if I'll keep it on there, but I put it on there because I don't have a spare. I'm always robbing Peter to pay Paul with my regulators. But it's got the TE10 and TE20 cap. There's the TE20. I'm going to start with that. 1.4 tip in it right now. It came with a 1.2 and a 1.3. The PPS cup actually came with that cheap ATD primer gun that I gave like 70 or 80 bucks for. I had to buy a PPS adapter because I bought this uncupped for 380 bucks. I just don't have any use for a cabinet full of cups. I'm always rinsing with my little bottle right here, so I don't see any reason to litter up my cabinet. I just flush some through there, and base coat guns I hardly ever take apart. Clear gun, I take it apart every time I use it, and soak the fluid tip in gun stripper and make sure it's all good. So that's kind of, I think that's what we got going on here. My favorite gun cleaner there, your 7XXX. I still use lacquer thinner, but that stuff's pretty good. And then this stuff, this is Clean Strip Naked Gun. It separates for whatever reason. There might be, maybe there's some sort of solvents in it, and then alcohol maybe too. I don't know. For whatever reason, it separates. Looks like Orange Julius when you shake it up and get it mixed back up and emulsified. But here's the base coat for that truck. Yep. Just cover up, I wrote the name of the company on the side of there, but there's the base coat right there and the reducer. And I want to show you guys something. I don't think I have a full can of 870 matrix reducer on the shelf, but you guys are going to be like, oh my gosh. Anybody who's ever used this already knows. But this can, I would say, 1 gallon can, weighs double what a can of 870 reducer weighs. It is ridiculous. Turn my scale on here, my Hobo Freight one. Let's move it to pounds. I don't know what the max is on this scale. Oh, yeah, it maxed the scale out. So, well, let's take some of the weight off of it and see if it'll read it. I think the scale may only go to... Well, it's well over 10 pounds for that gallon of reducer. So you figure water weighs 8.2 or 8.5 pounds per gallon. That's heavier than water by a lot. So there's got to be some sort of solids in it, but who knows? We'll see what happens there. So we're going to spray that, and let's see, what did I do with the clear coat? Here's the clear coat. This is a Valspar secondary line product. This is EC500. 2-to-1 clear. Yes, sir. 2-to-1. Right there you go. And here's their instructions. Non-stringing before applying second coat. Yep. Alright, well, there's a little tidbit for Monday morning for you. Maybe I'll bring you guys back later. If not, we'll talk to you soon. Later. Welcome back to the Velvethamma Show. This is what's happening. This is what I do when I have a lot of parts. I put a piece of tape on them to remind myself what I haven't done yet. In this one, I just need to remind myself to sand the edges and mask the outside after I clean it, and the inside DG is degrease around the door latch, which I'm not pulling, but I did pull the handles. Blend and scuff the primer inside, and put some seam sealer on the bottom of the doors. Those are fun. Everything is finished in 600, this kind. Yep. Sunmite, good stuff. Those are, when you're in a box, 50. Those are 50 cents a piece. I've gone through 4 so far to do pretty much all of the hood. You can see how big that is. And 2 doors on the outside, so that's not too bad. I re-guide coated the hood. I did not re-guide coat the doors, and I'm not going to re-guide coat the cab to get the scratches out, because I am sealing it. I'm just trying to reduce the scratches. So here's a little peek at the jams. I still gotta pull the masking off and I gotta clean in here when I'm done sanding, but that'll fly. That is feathered out far enough in this jam, and these jams, I'm gonna rock guard the rocker up to that seam where it meets the corner, and then I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna come up. I gotta measure on the other side, there's a sticker. I'm gonna rock guard just below the sticker, and then I'm gonna go just under the hinge on this side. So my primer stayed beyond or inside that. We're good. The rest of the jams are clean, but this was a wreck down here, and most of it blocked out, but you can still see some dark gray there. That's just a gouge from me digging at it with the DA, trying to get all the rust out. Same thing with the other side. I know it's dark over here. I got one of those kind. Yep, got bulbs out. But those lights were freebies from a long time ago, so I'm not changing ballasts. Same thing on this side. I can go just under that hinge, and I'll go just under the sticker. Probably, you know, somewhere in here where all the ugly sin was on it. Just so when they get in and out and they're dragging their boots on that sill, it's not tearing it up too bad. Now there is a piece of plastic that goes over the bottom here and goes in those holes. But yeah, all in all, it turned out good. Yesterday's little update, which is earlier in this video, this will just be a smashed together mess of videos, I'm sure, at some point. I've broken through at a bunch of spots trying to get all the stuff you're gonna see. It looked like somebody took a hammer and just went along the front of this cab. So I wanted to get all the bits you could see. The roof ain't beautiful, but it will go. There was a big dent in the middle of it, and by pushing up on the rest of it, I caused myself some high spots, which I knew would happen, but it was caved so far in the middle I couldn't leave it. So it'll fly for a roof. And then I got to get in here and with some sandpaper and scuff that grill area up. It's going body color, but yeah, so that's where we're at with this for now. I just figured I'd bring you guys along and give you a little update on what's going on. Most of this turned out pretty decent. I know it's dark as heck over here. This door, I did break through it, so I'll have to touch that up a little bit, but other than that, it blocked out nice. I hit them with this long block first around my bodywork just to check and see how rough it was. If you don't have one of those, I don't have a part number on it, but that's a 3M block. It's probably, I want to guess, 8 or 9 inches. I don't know, let's look. Let's get a tape measure. It's a standard width, but I think we're about 8 or 9 inches long. Those work out real nice. I lied, 7.5. But those work great for the bigger body repairs, just so you don't have to dig into the archives and pull out this guy, which is a little bit longer, or I don't have the real long one, but hey man, for this kind of stuff, that's good enough. So there you go. There's a quick update. I'll catch you after a while.